All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Duncan Lotoski, and I am a consultant librarian with Peace Library System. Today, we're going to go over the TRACPac online catalog, and we're going to explore many of its features. And hopefully, when you leave here today, you'll have taken away some new piece of information that you did not know before. That is the goal. So some of the things we go over today, you may already know, others you may not. All right. So let's just dive right in. This is being recorded without any participants, so it's just me right now. So it gives just a little bit of flexibility to spend some time on individual components. But to begin, let's look at this homepage here. In the top left corner, under Library Info, we have a drop-down menu. And the first one is the Home button. If we click Home, it's going to bring us back to our main page here. So we could be on any item record, on any page within TRACPac, and we can always click Library Info and click Home, and we'll be brought right back to the home page. Underneath Home, we have this About Track link, and if we click it, it's going to bring up a little bit more information on what TRACPac is and how it's used. Now, TRACPac is the online catalog that's used by Peace Library System. It's also used with 3 other library systems in Alberta, that being Northern Lights, Yellowhead, and Marigold Library System. And together we make TRAC, which is the Regional Automation Consortium. And so collectively, we have about 170 member libraries where patrons can request items from. So using the catalog, you could be in Northern Lights system and request from Drumheller and Marigold, or Peace River in Peace Library System. So patrons are able to gain access to items across Alberta. There are 3 systems, regional systems, that are not part of TRAC. So just keep that in mind, that we're only getting items from the 4 systems that are listed here. The catalog allows you to search from your home computer, tablet, smartphone, or computer in your home library. It has an adaptable interface, so it's going to adjust to whatever screen you are viewing it on. In TRACPac, you're going to need a valid library card, but you're going to find a variety of materials, and these include things like physical books, large print books, magazines, audiobooks. We have DVDs and Blu-rays, there's music CDs, video games, and even digital content, which is really neat. Specific to digital content, let's take a look. So if we click search, we have another drop-down menu, and if we go down to e-resources, and we'll click A to Z list, it'll give us a list of all of the e-resources that are linked directly into TRACPac. Now, this is not every e-resource that PLS subscribes to. To get to that, you just go to the PLS website, and it'll be under the e-resources tab in the top right. But these are the ones that are currently linked on TRACPac. So most frequently used will be Cloud Library and Overdrive, which are going to give patrons access to e-audiobooks and ebooks. And then also Novelist, we have a lot of information pulled from Novelist and linked into the actual item records. And this is going to help us when we're doing readers advisory work and trying to find patrons similar materials or read-alikes for items they already like. We won't worry about Ancestry here, and we will not worry about this link here. We're just going to focus on Cloud Library, Overdrive, and then Novelist. So this is just a place where you can gain access to those, but you'll see as we start searching through the catalog, you can actually place holds on e-resources directly on the TRACPac site. So it makes it all very easy, very convenient. To get to the site, we're already on it, but let's say we weren't. We're going to go to www.tracpac.ab.ca, and that'll bring us to the homepage. Now, alternatively, you could go to one of your library sites. I'm on the Manning site right now. And if we click on this magnifying glass in the top right corner here, and I enter a search term, let's say I want to search up the word sun it's going to bring us to the TRACpac page, and it'll show the results for all the items listed with the keyword sun in the record. And what's neat is now that we've gotten to TRACpac from the Manning website, the TRACpac site is actually customized to Manning. So it has Manning at the top here instead of TRAC. Also, if we click on the library info tab, we have home and we have about TRAC, but we also have two new links. One of them is hours, and it'll give the hours for the Manning site, or the Manning library rather, and also some location information. And then there's also a link back to the website, to the Manning Municipal Library website. But we'll go back to TRAC here. And if we want to get it back to just the standard TRAC homepage, we click library at the top here and hit TRAC. So now we're back. In order to log into TRACpac, we're going to click the top right corner, and we're going to need our library card barcode and the PIN. So you can click log in. There we go. All right, so as soon as you log in, it's going to give you a list of all the items you currently have out right now. So it'll have an image on the side here. Maybe it's the book cover or the poster if it's a movie or a DVD. It has the title, it has the due date in the next column. So this is a good way to keep track of when items are due. We have how many renewals the user is allowed to replace. So looks like some of them have 2, some have none. And to do that, you would click this square box on the side beside the items, and you would scroll down and you would click renew selected items, or if you wanted to do all of them, you would click renew all items. We have the call number in the next column, the assigned branch where the item is coming from. So I have items coming from libraries all across Alberta right now. And then its format on the very right-hand side here. So looks like this is a DVD. Anything that's an e-resource will show its corresponding logo here. So this is from Overdrive. I believe it's an ebook. So it's going to show Overdrive as the format. And these are all books. And we have some DVDs here as well. So what's nice is that in terms of e-resources, those are all going to be listed on TRACpac here. E-resources being Cloud Library and Overdrive. And this puts it in one nice convenient location so that you're able to log in. You can see all the physical items you have out, all the e-items you have out, and you don't have to individually go into TRACpac, into Overdrive, into Cloud Library. It keeps it all in one spot. All right, let's go over our navigation bar at the top here. So we went over library info. Let's take a look at search. So there's a few different ways to search in TRACpac. We can do keyword searching. We can browse with subject headings. And then we can also do advanced searching and utilize Boolean operators. And we'll get into all of these in a bit. And then e-resources we talked about already. Under my account, we have a link to your record, any items you currently have out, which we just saw, any requests the patron might have, a spot for fines and fees, a link to reading history if we have it enabled, and we can disable reading history as well if the patron wants to keep their history private. There's a spot for any saved searches, any saved lists, and a button to log out. Now you can also log out in the top right corner where you would log in. And the last drop down here is a help drop down. So these are just a number of topics that might come up in TRACpac. And if you click on them, so for example, saving searches, it's going to bring up more detailed information, lots of detailed information. So if there's something that you're still not sure about today, or you would like a little bit more information on, I would suggest coming to this help tab and trying to see if the topic is here first, because these have lots of great info and will really walk you through step by step on how to do any of these topics. All right, let's look at the left side navigation here. So these are all drop downs, but I'm going to minimize them just to make it a little easier to look at. So the top one is my account. And if we click on my name, it's going to bring up some account information. So it includes the library and the date that the account was created, as well as the expiration date and last activity date. There's a spot for messages, or there is a spot for messages that you can send the patron. We have some contact information and preferences. You can change your home address. You can change your email, your phone number. This is also down here is where we would enable or disable reading history. So I have it clicked on, which basically means that TRACpac is going to keep track of any items that I have checked out previously. So I'll be able to go in, maybe I'm thinking, oh, what was that one DVD that I checked out a few months ago? And because I have my reading history enabled, I'll actually be able to go in and check a long list of all the items that I have previously checked out. If I were to click this and disabled it, it would stop tracking any items I previously had out, and just kind of creates a level of privacy for the patron. Right here, we can change our preferred pickup location. So right now I have my items being shipped to Grand Prairie Public Library, but if for any reason that changed, I could come here, select which one I want. Let's say it's Fox Creek, and then I would hit submit change request, and then all my items would start shipping out to Fox Creek Library. And at the very bottom here, is the change log on. So we have a spot where we can change the username or the user password as well for any reason. And make sure to hit save. If you make any changes, make sure to hit save or else nothing will happen. So very important button. All right, so we've done my account. Let's look at my lists. All right, so the My List tab is a space to create custom lists of items in the TRACpac catalog. So you can create a brand new list here, or we can do it while we're browsing items. So if you're searching and you find an item you want to add to a list, we can easily click add to list and add it to a new one or a pre-created list. Here, I'll show you an example. So in order to use this, variety of ways, maybe a patron wants to create a to be read list. Maybe the account is being used by a family and each family member wants to have their own list of items. Maybe a patron wants to create a list of their favorite science fiction books or their favorite medieval stories. It could be anything. But this is a list I made of just books that I eventually want to get to. And it puts it in a nice list format. And I can remove the item if I want, or I can move it to, by clicking on the left side square here and move it to a different list or a new list. So very useful feature, can be used in a number of different ways. All right, underneath that is a link to download the TRACpac app. And so the TRACpac app can be downloaded for Android and Apple. So these will link to either of those app stores. I wasn't sure if you're accessing this page to download the app, I would do it from a mobile device. But it's probably just easier just to go into whatever app store you use, search up Trac, and download the app that way. We're not going to be talking too much about the app today, but we'll point out some cool features at the very end of the webinar to be aware of. All right, underneath that, we have a spot for new titles. So this is good for browsing. And just to check on things that are being recently added into the catalog. So if I click new videos, this doesn't necessarily mean that all the items here have come out in 2021 or 2022. It's just the most recently added items to the catalog. So we have a mix of things here. We have some, looks like older DVDs and then some newer ones. But I like to come through here and just browse, see what's being put into the catalog, and sometimes get ahead on that holds list for new items before others even know they're out. You know, come check here. Maybe something you've been waiting for has just recently been added, and you can click on it and place a hold right away. And so, yeah, we have new books, new videos, new sound recordings or CDs, and new large print. So we've done my account, my list, TRACpac app, new titles. At the very bottom is the spot for resources. And so I would come here if you're looking for digital materials or there is an item you were unable to find in the TRACpac catalog. So we spoke about Cloud Library and Overdrive. And these you probably won't have to go to as much because the materials are integrated into the TRACpac system. But these other two links might be useful too. So Me Libraries is a place where you can link your TRAC library card. You can link it to other Alberta public libraries, which allows borrowing from them. So you can physically go into these other libraries with your TRAC library card and check out items. And then the Alberta Relay system is the interlibrary loan system used in Alberta. So I would come here if you've checked through TRAC and we absolutely 100% do not have the item that the patron is looking for. You would come in here, select Peace Library System and search for your item. You would have to log in with your library card and PIN, and then you can place a request once you've found the item that you're looking for. And so this is searching beyond TRAC. So it searches within TRAC, but it also searches all the other library systems and public library networks that are in Alberta. So increasing the odds that we're going to find the material that the patron is looking for. All right, let's talk about the carousels in the middle here. So we have 4 carousels. These are ever changing and they are in the subjects of fiction, nonfiction, TV and movies, and children's. Top bestsellers. Always interesting to take a look through, see kind of what's moving. Again, good for browsing. Nice to just put up on a screen at the home library, kind of shows off the items that TRAC has. In the top right here, we have a function for large text. Maybe you have users with visibility needs. If we click on large text, it'll make the text larger. Now, unfortunately, we don't have a tiered system of different levels of font size. It's just large or regular. But to go back to regular text, you would hit regular text and it brings it back to normal. And then we briefly talked about this button on the side here when we looked at Manning, but you could choose any one of these, like let's say Banff, for example, and it would bring up the Banff wording on the front. It should have hours. Sometimes it'll have a link to the website under here. It just personalizes TRAC a little bit more for the library that's using it. All right, so let's get into searching. So these are our search options, but most searches are going to start on the home page here. So let's start with Mars. All right, so when we search any keyword, it's going to look for all the items in the catalog, and anything that's been tagged with the keyword of Mars is going to show up. So anywhere in the item record where Mars appears, it means it's going to be in this list of results. So right now it's showing that we have over 1,300 results for the keyword Mars. And we can browse these at 10 items per page, but maybe we want to increase that to 100 so we don't have to do as many clicks. We can also sort these results, and right now it's being sorted by relevance. We can sort them by author or title maybe. You can get into all sorts of combinations down here: call number, then author, publication date, then title. So whatever the preference is. Every item is going to have an image, and it's going to have a blue icon underneath that indicates what format the material is in. So for DVD, it's this little disc with the DVD. If we scroll down, for a book, it's this blue book, Blu-ray, and oh, here's an audiobook one. So it's the headphones with little book inside. If it's an e-resource, the icon is going to either be the Overdrive logo or the Cloud Library logo, depending on where it is coming from. And if you click on the icon, the MARC record will come up. So if you work with MARC records, it's kind of like a quick, easy access to get that information. All right, the middle part has just some information, has the title and some basic information about the item, but we're gonna look at the side here. So the top button is the Where Is It button. So if we click on it, it's gonna give us a list on the left-hand side here of all the libraries that carry the item and whether it's in or not. So right now, the top one says Barrhead Public Library, 1 of 1 available. And if we go over to status, we can see that it's in. If it said 0 of 1 available, most likely the status is going to say either out, as in it's been checked out, or transferred, as in it's being transferred to a library to be put on hold or to be checked back in. And then the right-hand column here just has what the format is, what the type is. Cool. Let's talk about placing a request. So we'll skip this full display one, and we're going to go down to these request buttons here. The one-click request is going to instantly request the item to your preferred pickup location. So when we went into my account info, we saw the spot where we can change our preferred pickup library. Clicking on one click is going to instantly place a request to that library. If we hit place request, it's going to give us the option to change that pickup location. So it's preset right now at Grand Prairie Public Library because that's my preferred pickup location. But let's say I'm going on vacation, or I'm on vacation somewhere, or there's another library that is more convenient for me to pick up from. I would go here and I can, let's say it's Barrhead. I can change it. It's going to ask if I always want to use this pickup location, which means I can change it instantly to my preferred pickup location. So you can click yes or no to that. It'll give me an option to change the activation date. So maybe I want this item, but I'm just not quite ready for it yet. Let's activate this hold in a couple weeks. So I would enter the date that I want this hold activated. And because I know that there's lots of copies in, chances are I'm not going to be put on a wait list. So you can play around with the activation date as you see fit. And then there's also a spot for notes too, if you have a concern or a question you want to ask. Cool. All right, let's go into full display. So we can click full display. You can also click on the title here and it'll bring you to the same page. So we're right into the item record here. And as you can see, we have a whole bunch of information. So things like the publisher date or publication date, description, we have a summary. This is an important spot to note. This is where our subject headings are. And so subject headings help to identify what the material is about. Some items are going to have many subject headings. They could have upwards of 10 to 15. Others might have 1 or none. And that goes for all information on this page. You'll see that some items have tons and tons of information, almost too much, but we don't want to say that. Well, whereas others will have very minimal information. So it really just depends on what was available at the time it was cataloged and circumstances surrounding that. So right now we can see subject headings for this Mars DVD include colonization drama, women astronauts drama, DVD video discs, video recordings for the hearing impaired, and Mars as a planet in drama. All right. Now we're going to actually go back home because I'm going to pull up a book that I know has a ton of information that will be really good for an example. So this is an Elephant and Piggy book called My New Friend Is So Fun. And again, we have subject headings. And I keep mentioning subject headings because that's what we're going to talk about next. But just interesting to see what different items are kind of tagged as. So this one has Piggy as a character in juvenile fiction, or Gerald as a character in juvenile fiction. And it also has a lot of subcategories within juvenile fiction as well. So if we scroll down, it'll have the where is it information. This is the same information that we get from the search results on the right-hand side. So we will minimize that. We have a little brief summary, and then we have series information. Now, from about here downwards, all this info is being linked from Novelist. And Novelist is a great reader's advisory tool, helps find a lot of real-likes, books with similar elements. So all the following information can really be utilized for providing excellent reader's advisory service and helping patrons find materials that are best suited to them. But the series tool is really great because if someone came in and they said, I read this Elephant and Piggy book, but I don't know what the next one is and I want to read the next one. It's very easy to come down here and see that this one is number 21. And the next one, number 22, is called Waiting is Not Easy. And we can click on that item and it'll instantly search within TRAC whether we have it or not. And it says, look here, it says local availability 46 of 73. And if we click where is it, although some copies are out in this status column here, we can see there are copies in. So we know it's in, we can place a request and have that item shipped to the library for the patron. All right. Okay, we looked at series. There are some reviews, a little bit of a profile here. More novelist info. So this is another spot where you can browse through the series. And clicking on any of these will bring up search results for them. We have some read-alike information, so similar titles. And if you click on it, it'll give a reason why it's suggesting this title and an option to find it. We have similar authors and also similar series. So if the patron had finished the entire Elephant and Piggy series and they wanted something else, this is a good spot to come and see if they have read any of these other series. This is a cool area. This is story elements. So this is taking elements from the book and presenting them here. So what we can do is select as many as we like, and it'll suggest materials for us based on the chosen elements. So let's say I like that the book was funny and that it had character duos and that it had cartoony illustrations. And so it says, based on your picks, we found these fiction stories for ages 0 to 8 that share the traits, funny, character duos, and cartoony. And so we can browse through these recommendations. Ooh, Frank and Bean, let's click that one. And it'll bring up the search results for that particular title, which is pretty cool. All right, so that's story elements. Underneath that, we have some ratings and reviews, which you can click on if you're interested to get more reviews. And these come from Goodreads. And then we have Lexile measures and accelerated reader information. So this is good for readers who are reading at certain levels, and we're trying to find materials that are at that same level. So you can find out what their Lexile measure is and view info about that. Or if you know their accelerated reader level, There's information here, and you can click higher or lower. Maybe I'm at a 1.5 and I'm in lower grade. And if you search, it'll give you recommendations, and you can click on any one of these and it'll show the search results in TRAC. We have some awards it's won. Underneath that is this very interesting map tool. I'm gonna make this bigger. And this actually shows everywhere within TRAC in Alberta where the item currently is available. So I'm not sure how you would utilize this the best way, but interesting to see kind of where items live within the province. Oh, see, it says down here, the orange is number of copies currently available, and the purple is all copies in this location are currently unavailable. There's a large cover image, and then librarian's view or the MARC record. So lots of information, most of it courtesy of Novelist. All right. So we're going to take a little bit of a look at limiters. Right now on the homepage, there is one limiter, and this limits by format. So we can search by audiobook specifically, or book, Blu-ray, DVD, maybe large print titles. So if I put in large print and then I put in Mars again. So remember, just the normal Mars search had over 1,300 results. This limited it to large print, and we have 12 total results. So items that have the word tagged Mars in it. So it's limiting our search, it's narrowing our search to large print items with Mars. Under search, the first option is the keyword search. So it's quite similar to the search on the homepage, although it gives us a few more options to limit by. So we still have the format, but we can also search by field as well. So things like title, author, subject, series. Underneath these two, we have more search options, and these will give us things like libraries. We can limit by publication date, material type, language, and even target audience. So you can use these limiters prior to your search, and then enter your keyword and click search, or we can do this afterwards, and I'll show you how we do this afterwards. So if I'm searching for materials about ice cream. All right, so right now we have 639 materials that are tagged with ice cream. And I'm going to keep track of this because we're going to see how low the number goes. On the left-hand side here, not under my account, not under my lists, we have narrow your search. And these are going to give us different ways that we can narrow our search to find more specific items based on what the patron is looking for. So the first one here is availability. So of course we want it to be available right now. We don't want to wait. We want the item to either be shipped to the library or to be checked out right then and there. So if we hit available now, it's going to remove any results that are not currently available. So anything that's been checked out or anything that is currently being transferred. So we went from 639 results to 502. But let's say it doesn't matter if it's available now. Well, you can click it again and it's going to return those results and put them all back into the list. And it'll actually say beside each of these limiters how many items are part of that subject. So we do want it available now. We'll just say that. All right. Next is type of material. So if we click more at the bottom here, it'll give us a full list of all the different topics we can choose. So we can choose book, DVD, music CD even. But let's say we're looking for books. And again, it's removing results that are not in that book type of material. If I wanted to, if I go back, I can include more multiple materials. So I could do book, DVD, sound recording, kit, or I can remove them. So you can have multiple choices for each one of these selections. Next is subjects. So this is pulling out common subject headings found in your search result list. So right now we have ice cream, ices, etc., cookbooks, friendship, graphic novels. So, maybe that's what we're looking for. Maybe we're looking for graphic novels that have to do with ice cream. So if I click that, now we're down to 18, and it's giving us a whole list of items that are tagged as graphic novels and have the keyword ice cream tagged in it. Now you don't have to make a selection for each one of these. For subjects, I'm going to not select anything. So we're back up to our 412 results because we're not sure yet. We want to kind of do some browsing. Next is authors. Maybe there's a specific author that you were looking for and they show up here. You can click on one of these and it'll show all their works in the results. We have series. So again, maybe it's a specific series that the patron is looking for. Like, what is this one? Sprinkle Sundays. We looked up ice cream. It suggested the series Sprinkle Sundays. And the patron said, yes, that's it. I want to see all the Sprinkle Sundays books you have. So by clicking that, it's going to bring up all of the items tagged with Sprinkle Sundays and tagged with the keyword ice cream. And then I'll select it again and the results will return. Publication date. Maybe the patron wants something that's brand new, published in the last year, 2021. Okay, or maybe they're willing to look at items that are a little bit older. But let's keep it at 2021 for now. Keep the new stuff on the page. Underneath publication date is language. So we have English, French. You'll see other languages as they appear in the results, like German, Tagalog. I'm going to select English this time. Under that, we have assigned branch. So this can be really helpful if you have users who walk in and they don't want to place anything on hold. They don't want to have to wait for an item. They want to see what's available on the shelf at your library today. So right now we have available materials that are keyworded as ice cream, they're books, and they've been published in 2021. So if I'm at Grand Prairie Public Library and I want something that's on the shelf right now, I'm going to click that library. And this entire list of items are currently checked in. And we know that they are physical books because we have selected the type of material as book. So hypothetically, the patron could look at this list and we should be able to, as library staff, find any one of these on the shelf for them to check out today. And then underneath assigned branch, we have literary form. So that'd be things like fiction, nonfiction, might say short stories or poetry. Let's select fiction. All right, and we're down to 9 results. So we went from 639 items, and by using the limiters on our side, our left side here, to narrow our search, we got down to 9 total items. So there's lots of different ways you can play around with these and combine different versions to find more specific searches for your patrons. But very good to know and can be very helpful in finding those hard to find items, especially. Now, if this was a search that we had a patron come in or yourself does quite frequently, you can save the search by clicking this button at the top here. And we can also do this for advanced searching, which we will show you in a bit. But I can click Save Search, and it saved the search command right here. So KW means keyword, but it's saving the ice cream keyword search. So I type in ice cream search. Maybe I want to make a note about it. I can have the emails or results emailed to myself. I can change the format to plain text or HTML. And then what I can do is I can have the results of this search emailed to me weekly for the next 4 weeks. Because let's say I'm doing a research project on ice cream and I want these results to be emailed to me so I know up to date what's in TRACpac and what's available. And then I would hit save search and that would be activated. So pretty cool feature. All right, library info home. We're back on the main page. Okay, we're going to take a look at browsing with subject headings. So maybe we don't have a specific idea of what the user is looking for. So we can use subject headings, which can be very helpful with Reader's Advisory and just browsing the catalog more leisurely. So subject headings are added to every item in TRAC, and they help to organize the items by topic. So they're usually, if we go back into this Elephant and Piggy book, they're usually a specific word or a phrase. These are our subject headings here. So a word or phrase that is associated with the items. And like I've said previously, sometimes there'll be very many subject headings, and other times there might be one or none. All right. So to get to the subject heading search, we go down to browse, and there are 4 different ways we can search. We can search by title, by author, by subject, or by series. And so whatever we search, if I search up Halloween, it's going to bring us to that part. You can see Halloween here. Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. It's going to bring us to that part of the subject heading index. Think of the index as a giant alphabetical list. And so we can go forwards in the list or we can go backwards in the list. It's almost like flipping the page of a book. So right now because it's alphabetical, we're in the H's, we're in Halloween. And on the left side here, it's going to give you what the subject heading is. So Halloween specific to Blu-ray and DVD, specific to books, specific to ebooks. Halloween 2 specific to Blu-ray or DVD. So that's the subject heading title. And on the right side here, it actually has how many items in TRACpac are tagged with that particular heading. So just Halloween has 79 items tagged. Halloween specific to Blu-ray and DVD has 1 item tagged. Now to browse through the catalog, we're going to use these buttons up here. I can click next 10 listings, and in alphabetical order, it's going to continue to go through the H's right now. See, so now we're into Halloween D, Halloween F, Halloween family. I just want to keep going until we get to the next kind of keyword here. So you can keep going. It's like flipping the pages of a book, all in alphabetical order. See, now we're into hallways, halo, halo, or halo. But yeah, so it's gonna keep following the list of headings alphabetically, and it's just kind of neat to go through and browse. If I was interested in Halo series, I could click this, and it'll bring up a list of all the items that have been tagged with that particular heading. And so back in the index here, I can go backwards, I can go forwards. Yeah. If I go to an item, let's say I go to this one, just in the front page here. And so I have these subject headings here. You can click on any of these headings in the item. So I'm going to click on motherhood in fiction, and it'll bring me to that part of the index. And we can see motherhood in fiction. There are 241 items tagged with that. So I'm going to click on it. and it'll bring me up a list of the items. And then from here, you can use the limiters on the left-hand side to narrow down your search even further. All right, next we're going to look at advanced searching. So we're going to go search, go down to advanced. And advanced searching is going to allow you to do complex keyword searches. So you're going to be able to combine several search terms and select a search field for each one of them. So connecting search terms is known as Boolean operators. And we're going to look at 3 that will be of most use. And I have a little cheat sheet that we'll look at too, but I'm going to explain each of them first and see what pops up. And then we'll look at our cheat sheet here. So we're going to start with the keyword summer. Okay, summer is our keyword. Our operators are in these drop-down menus here. So we're going to start just with summer and this first line here, and we're going to use the operator and. So any search results right now, if I press go, are going to come up with items that are tagged with the keyword summer. However, if I put summer and winter, when I hit go, the search results must match the search term before the operator and the search term after the operator. So now every item that's listed in the search results needs to have summer and winter tagged in it. So if I hit go, all these items have summer and winter tagged in it. We have 458 results. If I got rid of winter and I'm just looking up for items that have summer in it, we have over 8,600. So notice how we've limited the results by just adding winter. Okay, it's taking away all the results that don't have winter added into it and putting them here. All right. The next operator is the OR operator. And so search results using the OR operator means that they must match the search term before or the search term after OR. So if I type in winter here, the search results are now going to list anything that has summer tagged in it or winter tagged in it. So it doesn't have to include both in the item record. It can be one or the other. So if I hit go, now we have over 14,000 results. So it's including all of summer and all of winter. The third operator is the not operator. And so using the not operator, the search results need to match the search text before not, but must not match the text or the search results after not. So if I put in summer, but I don't want anything to do with winter, I want all items that are tagged with winter to be removed. That is what the not operator does. So if I hit go, we're back down to just over 8,000 results. So these have all items that are tagged with the keyword summer, but it's removed any item that has the keyword winter tagged in it as well. Now, a little bit of a cheat sheet here is using peanut butter and jelly. So we can see using and, the red is what the red indicates what the search results are. So and is taking item records that have peanut butter and jelly, or is searching for all of peanut butter and all of jelly. So you're getting all those results. Not is taking peanut butter, but it's extracting anything that has jelly tagged in the record. So you're only getting those results that have peanut butter tagged in it. Okay. So we have multiple fields here. So you can see how you can start to kind of play around and use these in combination with each other. So if I want to do, I want books on summer and winter, or books on weather, but I do not want anything that has to do with rain. Let's say I'm doing a research project. So right now, based on what we've chosen and the operators we've chosen, the search results, if we hit go, have everything that's been tagged with summer and winter. It's also looking up for items, because we use the or operator, it's looking up for items that are tagged with weather. And based on these results from these 3 lines, it's removing any item record that has rain tagged in it. And we have just over 2,700 results, which again, we can then use our limiters on the left-hand side here to narrow our search. Now there's also the option to add a whole nother set of terms, which you can use an operator in between those 2 sets. And you can also use these field functions. So if you want to search by title or author. So it can get really tricky, but this gives you a lot of options to create really niche, really specific searches, which you can then save, just like we did for keyword searching up here. All right, we're going to hit library info home and take a quick water break from our searches before we get into the concluding part. All right. So what we're going to look at next is, under my account, we're going to go do the request page. And we're just going to talk a little bit about statuses and what this page is all about. So as soon as you've placed a hold, information on the status of the item will be shown here. When you place a hold, it's going to show as a pending status. So this item here, I placed a hold on today. It says as of January 31st, 2022, and it is pending. So pending is kind of like, think of it as the limbo in between clicking hold and the library finding the item and shipping it out or placing it on hold. So it's just kind of in process right now. An active status, and it'll show you since when it's been active, indicates that the item is currently not available, but the user is in line to get the item. So you're on a hold list, basically. So you can see in the column beside status, it has your hold position. So right now I'm number 31 of 46 for this item. And then we also have the pickup library, the format, the title, and the image, if I didn't mention that before. So I have a few active items and varying hold positions, some closer than others, some further away. But yeah. Anything that is marked as shipped, and I don't have anything here marked as shipped, but that means that the item has shipped from its home library to the requested library. An item is ready once it says held. So held means that it's at the library, the requesting library, and it'll actually say for how many days it'll stay there until it is shipped back to its owning library. We have received. So these items also indicate that they're being held, but these items, because they don't have an image, these are from the Alberta Relay Interlibrary Loan system. So when you're getting items that are from outside of TRAC, they may not have an image, and the status might be marked differently than items that are in TRAC. If I go down here, I have a couple items that are inactive. Okay, so at some point I had these items as active, or I had them pending. And what I did was I said, you know what, I don't need these right away. They're things I want to eventually get to. So I can click on the side here and I can suspend the items, and that'll basically make them inactive and keep them in your request list until you're ready to reactivate them, which you will then be put back in line to get the item. Now, theoretically, what should happen is if you're in a holds position, like I am here for this item, 4 out of 5, if I were to suspend my spot here by clicking it and clicking suspend, that it should hold my place in line when I reactivate the item. So that's something good to know. What other options do we have down here? If you need to suddenly change the pickup location, you can change pickup location. If you want to cancel the item, let's say you no longer need it, you've decided the patron doesn't have a use for it anymore, hit cancel selected, and it'll cancel the item. It'll show at the very bottom and the status will be canceled. But you can only cancel items that have an active or pending status. Anything that's been shipped or received cannot be canceled or suspended because they are in transit, they're passing hands, or they've already made it to their destination. All right. One more thing I want to show you, which is about magazines. Because placing hold on specific magazine issues can sometimes get a little confusing, but I'm going to show you how we do that. First off, what I would recommend is anyone who's interested in magazines, I would push Overdrive magazines and really see if they're interested in reading magazines digitally. Overdrive tends to have like a 2-year backlog of issues, whereas I'm finding as I browse through our libraries that most libraries tend to have 1 year backlog. And what's great about Overdrive and the digital magazines is that they're simultaneous use. You can read them while 10 other people are reading them, and you can save your spot. You can have them for like 21 days, a much longer period. Or no, it should be the same. It should still be 3 weeks for physical items too. But anyway, Overdrive magazines, to me, is the preferred option. I think it's the best way to go about doing it, but this is how you find physical issues. So if I go to Vogue, we're going to look up Vogue magazine. Oh, and you can see here the Overdrive logo for the E magazine. But if I scroll down, I'm looking for the icon that looks like a newspaper. And so this is the serial or magazine icon. And most of the time it's going to have magazine in brackets on the side here too. So we know that this is the item record we are looking for. So it's Vogue magazine. If we want to see what issues are available, I can click where is it? And this will show me the status of the magazine, but it's also going to show me individual issues that each library has. So I can scroll through, I can see that Hinton has some copies, that Leduc has some copies. And okay, October 2021, this is the issue that we are looking for. If I want to place a request on this specific issue, I'm going to click this button here, the little arrow with the screen, and click place request. And then I would follow through the steps just like I would any other item. If I were to place a request on Vogue magazine in general, it's not going to allow me. It's going to say you cannot place a request on every single issue of Vogue magazine in the system. You have to actually go in, find the issue you want, and click place request right beside it. All right. Now, in conclusion, what I will say is one more thing about the TRACpac app. So this is bringing up just the screen here, but there is a feature that I think is important to mention, and it's the scan ISBN barcode feature. And so what the user would do is they would activate their camera within the app, and they can, you know, if they're out book shopping and there's a really nice book they want, but maybe they don't necessarily want to spend $50 on a book and they want to see if they can get it from the library for free. What you can do is you can scan the barcode of that item and it'll search automatically within TRAC whether the item is in TRAC and which libraries have it. So then the patron can place that item on hold instantly and save themselves $50. So I think of it as a cost saving tool, you know, because you'll be out and about and you run into books that you want to read, but you're not near a computer, or you don't have a pen and paper to write something down. So this is just a great way to scan the barcode, put it on hold instantly, and know that you're going to have it on its way to you for free. All right. Well, I want to thank everyone for attending today. If you have any additional questions on TRACpac or the TRACpac app, definitely give me a shout. You can email me or you can phone me at 780-538-4656. Sorry, 780-538-4656. That is extension 125. I have some brand new posters, 8.5 by 11 and 11 by 17, as well as some bookmarks that have been emailed out, and they are also on Library Aware for editing your own library logos and information. This recording is available on our YouTube channel and also on our Niche Academy page. And I'm trying to think what else. The Boolean operator cheat sheet that we briefly used here will also be attached in the Niche Academy lesson online. But anyway, yeah, thanks for your time.